Ladies and gentlemen, the following is the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament, in which the winner will go on to challenge for their brand's Women's Championship at SummerSlam. Introducing first, from Osaka, Japan, the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka!
The Empress who wants to become Queen. Asuka, who returned to action a couple of weeks ago after missing 13 months with a knee injury. In a recent interview, Asuka talked about the recovery process. She said it wasn't easy. There were many tough days, but the voice of the WWE fans begging her to return are what kept her going. She never stopped. She matched her intensity in the training room, to rehab, to get ready. And Wade, she says she's better than ever, and this is just the beginning.
Well, she certainly has been better than ever on this run in the tournament so far. I think blowing everyone's minds at the caliber of performances she's put in. The knee clearly not an issue now. I do question the endurance, however, given that we're in such a hot, humid atmosphere. Even though we're inside here in Riyadh, I'm sweating buckets, and that may be a telling factor for a competitor who has barely competed in over 400 days.
A storm is coming.
And her opponent from Vero Beach, Florida, Jade Cargill!
Jade Cargill has never competed for a singles championship in WWE. Use an opportunity to change that if she wins tonight. She would go on to SummerSlam to take on the WWE Women's Champion. If Asuka wins, she would headline SummerSlam against the Women's World Champion. It was back in May of 2024, last year in Backlash, Lyon, France, where Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair took the tag team titles from the Kabuki Warriors, Kairi Sane and Asuka. And it was on that night that Asuka injured her knee. That would cost her 13 months of action. Wade, will that come into play? Will that be in her head here tonight?
Yeah, I don't think it will. Sometimes you have that kind of specter hanging over you when a competitor has injured you and you either fear them doing it again or you really want to get vengeance. It was a fairly innocuous injury the way it went down. It wasn't a targeted attack on the knee of Asuka. I don't think that will come into play in the psyche of Asuka whatsoever.
First time ever one-on-one between these two women. In 2021, Zelina Vega won the Queen's crown. Last year, Nia Jax won the Queen of the Ring. She went on to SummerSlam to beat Bayley for the WWE Women's title. Who will become the latest Queen of the Ring?
Two highly respectful competitors, but it did come to blows last night on SmackDown. The thin veneer of civility was scratched off quickly, with Asuka getting the best of Jade last night.
And Jade said on the Countdown show, Asuka made a mistake when it came to blows like that. So let's talk strategy. If you're Jade Cargill in this matchup, how do you match a woman who I believe is a first ballot Hall of Famer in Asuka?
Well, clearly there's a massive disparity in resumes here. An experienced Jade Cargill miles behind Asuka, but you've got to hope that power game that you're known for really neutralizes that disparity in the early goings.
And Asuka looking to put Cargill away early. Asuka going to pull out every trick in the book here tonight. Cargill turning it around, and there's the power you talked about with the side slam. Cover, hook on the inside leg, and a kick out.
It's really hard to find a weakness with regards to Jade Cargill. Occasionally, the temperament has been an issue. I know for a fact that Nia Jax has exploited that in the past and got Jade Cargill to essentially get herself disqualified.
Oh, nice. Dragon screw on the rope by Asuka, who's taken over. Now, you talk about a weakness in Cargill. One of the things I noticed in her semifinal matchup against Roxanne Perez was the fact that she got frustrated. That Roxanne Perez had her out of her game, and she got extremely frustrated and almost cost her. And now the knee comes into play.
And that's often an issue when competitors are bigger and stronger than most of the roster. When things aren't going their way, it's not what they're used to. They're supposed to be dominant. They're supposed to be able to control proceedings, and sometimes they lose their rag when that doesn't happen.
Oh, and this is a tremendous strategy. Cover now by Asuka, kick out, to take out the leg of Cargill and make it an even playing field. Take the power game away.
And even the way that went down, Asuka really baited Cargill into making a mistake in the early goings, realizing, look, the bigger, powerful superstar, Jade Cargill, if I take that knee out, suddenly we're a lot more equal in terms of the power game.
Asuka, a four-time world champion.
Oh, jeez.
As NXT Women's Champion, she held it a record 510 days. Four-time tag champ. She's won the Money in the Bank, the Royal Rumble, and who will forget the first 914 days she was at NXT, and in WWE, Wade, she was undefeated.
You're saying she's won pretty much everything apart from the Queen of the Ring.
And then
that
with this
about
here,
to change.
yeah, got an E-bar on Jade Cargill, the damaged knee. Asuka now.
Not a single thing has gone right for Jade Cargill right from the beginning. That is how good the strategy of Asuka has been.
Yeah, but Jade Cargill looking to make it back to her feet, shoulders down momentarily, and a great move. There's the power of Cargill coming into play, dumping Asuka on the back of her head.
The deadlift, wheelbarrow, German suplex, and you're right, the power game has finally got a bit of breathing room here for Cargill.
We're going to learn a lot about Jade Cargill in this match, Wade. The fact that she's got a damaged knee already after the attack by Asuka.
Yeah, what's been the knock on Jade Cargill in her run in WWE so far? It's that she's been tagging with Bianca Belair. And trust me, pretty much anyone can win a tag title with Bianca Belair. But we saw Cargill step up huge at WrestleMania on her own against former friend Naomi. And that's the kind of confidence-building win that has propelled Cargill to this final.
And now the fall-away slam by Jade Cargill and a kip-up. Not sure how wise that was on a bad knee, but she pulled it off. Now Asuka back to her feet, and a kick drops Asuka.
That was a bullseye, using full extension of those long limbs.
Looking to outpower Asuka again with a choke slam, dropping her in the middle of the ring. Cover now for the win. Asuka just got a shoulder up, barely.
You've got to give Jade Cargill all the credit in the world. She gets better every single time we see her, clearly putting in the hard hours behind the scenes, nailing a choke slam here. And Asuka, who dominated the first 5 minutes of this, looks like a changed woman now, though, of course, fighting back.
Yeah, no, Jade Cargill, one of her toughest matches to date. Tough matchup when it comes to Asuka, so well skilled in everything. Both women down. Finals of the Queen of the Ring, sold out tonight. The Kingdom Arena, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It's been an incredible couple of days as we prepare for the Royal Rumble here in Riyadh. First part of 2026.
Both women struggling at this point. They've both taken and given massive, massive shots. The gleam of that crown has to be driving these two on.
Jade Cargill beginning to get the upper hand now, delivering the right hands to the blows. Asuka, though, there's that backhand and a kick to the midsection. And here comes Asuka. This right here is classic Asuka.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, you always back the powerhouse in a strike exchange. Asuka's different, though. An absolute expert in the strike game. And if Jade Cargill didn't know, well, now she does.
Yeah, Asuka, a joy to watch, and now she's going to go up top. She's got Cargill on the ropes, and she knows it. Asuka, missile drop kick, down goes Cargill. Asuka will go for the cover here and try to win the tournament. Jade kicks out.
Well, you talked a few moments ago about how we're going to learn a lot about Jade Cargill. Now it is learning time, because Cargill really is going to have to dig deep and come up with some answers here. She's on the ropes, she's in big trouble, and Asuka smells victory.
Asuka have planned here. Jade Cargill, though, no standing switch by Jade. Power now, Asuka rolls through. Shoulders down, is it enough? Not quite.
Asuka's doing a great job of just confusing Cargill, but wait up!
And again, the power of Cargill overwhelming Asuka. Sit out powerbomb. Asuka gets out at 2.
Just one moment of mental clarity from Jade Cargill turns the tide. Once again, blocking that knee strike, powering up her opponent, driving her down with that sit-out powerbomb that almost gets the crown in the hands of Jade Cargill.
Referee Daphne LaShawn. Match up armbar now by Asuka. Armbar now by Asuka, center of the ring.
And that arm is fully extended, now desperately trying to block. Just about hooking those arms, how she powered out of that. Oh, God.
Asuka back into the full armbar now on Jade.
And a massive hyperextension, smart by
Cargill,
Cargill.
though, turns it into a pinning combination and a kick out. There's a big boot by Jade, flooring Asuka. And now Cargill.
Wait up.
Asuka, though. Jade was going for Jade, and Asuka now. Again, looking for the Asuka lock. Looking for the Asuka lock on Cargill.
Long way from the ropes now in extreme agony.
Cargill in trouble. Asuka with the Asuka lock in. Cargill trying to fight out of it. Again, trying to turn it into a pinning combination, and she does again and again. Another great counter.
That was so resourceful from Cargill, but she couldn't defend herself for the onslaught that followed.
And Asuka could be closing in. Empress impact, but caught. Intercepted by Cargill. Great counter. Down goes Asuka. Cover. Oh, Jaded. Jade Cargill wins. Queen of the ring.
Well, Jade Cargill is your queen of the ring, but she had to crawl through hell to get there. Absolutely spent, exhausted, but block out the pain. You are the queen of WWE, Jade.
Biggest win of Jade Cargill's singles career here in WWE thus far. Not only is she queen of the ring, she's going to SummerSlam. Asuka had the Asuka lock in, but another great counter by Jade. Very impressive was Jade with her counters tonight.
Yeah, clearly been working on reversals and escape plans, but this was the moment I thought it was game over. Asuka immediately pouncing, going in for that Empress impact, but the power of Cargill was too much. Hooked Asuka, Empress of Tomorrow goes down. Victory in sight, no mistakes from here for Cargill.
General managers Pierce and Aldis in the ring to present Jade Cargill with the Queen of the Ring crown.
Here is your winner, and the new Queen of the Ring, Jade Cargill!
As Jade celebrates, let's head up to Byron Saxton.
Jade, you are now headed to SummerSlam in a match for the WWE Women's Championship. How do you feel?
You know, Byron, when I first entered this tournament, it felt like the world was on my shoulders. But you know what? For the people out there who are down themselves, praise yourself because you are fighting through the boos. Don't let them tell you who you are. You show them. And the grind don't stop. A storm is coming for SummerSlam.
Well, it remains to be seen who will be the WWE Women's Champion at SummerSlam. Could be Tiffany Stratton. Could be Naomi, who's missed Money in the Bank. But Jade Cargill has an opportunity. MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, the first weekend of August. To win her first singles championship in WWE.